Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How are you? Today is, excuse me, Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we will just get going. Okay, I don't know why that thing keeps doing what it's doing. Um, okay, here we go. All right, so I hope everybody's feeling well today. It has been a long, lovely weekend with the family for me. Yesterday, I did a little work. I had a couple client calls and I had a video that I put up. So those of you who didn't see that, make sure you take a look. Good morning, everybody. Who do we have here today? We have Mariella De Silva, Odin Performance, good morning, good morning. Leslie Burrell, good morning. Caitlin Smith, good morning. She says, Angie, love you, girl. Well, thank you. Back at you. And Mona Cedillo is here. Good morning, Mona. She says, good morning, Angie. Love you and love your way. You bring sanity, healing, and truth. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. That is exactly my intention. Doreen B says, hi, Angie and Tribe. Hey, girl. Hey, welcome back. Happy to see you. David H. Hey, how are you? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well today. Good morning. Kingdom Princess in the house. Good morning. Good morning. And whoops, Melissa. Did I lose? Well, there she goes. She goes, hey, girl. Hey, I got the discovery. Filling out the paperwork. Excellent news. How are you feeling? Is it good? The paperwork? I mean, is the discovery? It's all good? What's going on with you? Good morning, Vivian VT. How are you? Welcome back. Renee Goodell says, good morning, Angie and Tribe. It's good to be here. While I'm on my Bluetooth, so I'm just listening while I'm on the road. Awesome. Be careful. Be safe. Good morning, Nicole Angelina. Welcome back. She says, hello, beautiful people. And Natalie Constance can't talk. Natalie Constantine says, good morning, beautiful people from Trinidad and Tobago. Hello, Natalie. Welcome back. Ex-dude in the house. Hello, sir. Welcome back. Happy to see you. Says, hey, y'all. Hey, guys, he actually said. Deb Longo in the house. Good morning, Deb. Welcome. And Hero's Journey is new here. Welcome. Welcome. Happy to have you, Hero's Journey. Stephanie Annes is back. Hello, honey. Welcome back. Stargaze Lily, whose name I just love. How are you, Stargaze? She says, since finding out about my pregnancy, my narc has stopped abusing me. Will this continue? Will the abuse move on to the baby once it's born? Chances are that, you may get a little less abuse. I don't know how long I can't recall how long you've been pregnant. I will tell you that my narcissist, when I had the baby at first, was like, wow, I can't believe, of course, the abuse didn't totally stop during the pregnancy for me. But after the pregnancy was over, I got love bombed for about 2 weeks, and then it was back to normal. So I think it just depends on your particular narcissist. I would ask you how long it's been, and I would ask you what has stopped and what you're dealing with now. I don't. As far as will it continue with the baby, I mean, certainly the baby will get at least some of the side effects of that abuse, whether it's direct abuse or just watching mom be abused. Either way, it's not good. Um, so let me know your thoughts. Hey, free at last. Welcome back. Says, hello, family. It's been a while. Yes, indeed. How are you? Marianne O'Donnell's back. Good morning, Marianne. How are you? Happy Tuesday, she says. Deb says she's also new here. Well, I thought so. Welcome, welcome, Deb. Happy to have you. Welcome to our family. Stargaze says, good morning, lovelies. And Wally says, good morning. Today I felt sad. Last week I got into a mental health crisis. Oh, that's very difficult. How are you feeling? What's going on? Are you okay? I know you've been struggling with your job. Is the job going okay? What's happening with you, Wally? Talk to us. X-Dude says, struggling with a lot of obsessive thoughts. Oh, I have been there. Yes, sir, I have. How many of you can relate to the obsessive thoughts problem? I bet you can. One thing you can do when you're in that situation with the obsessive thoughts is to begin to focus on changing your perspective. Pattern interrupt is really helpful during that time. I suggest check out the pattern interrupt videos I've done, X-Dude, and let me know if you have questions. Colleen Nelson says, good morning, Angie and all. Good morning, Miss Colleen. And Leslie says, welcome to Deb. Magella, my Irish sister in the house. How are you? Good to have you. She's not really my sister, but we're all probably related somehow or another. Um, the baddest radish in the house. Awesome name. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Says, thank you for your channel. I'm a recent survivor and first video I saw popped out of nowhere and has helped me leave him. Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that you were so, excuse me, positively affected. I keep seeing something. I think it's a little bit of dirt on my glasses. Never mind. But I'm glad that you're here, and I welcome you to the Spanily Baddest Radish. And by the way, awesome name. Gretchen Robertson is here. Hello, Gretchen. Welcome. She says, good morning, precious Angie. Happy to see you today. Kit Kat in the house, who is, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Stop the Chaos, says, okay, Angie, several questions today. The biggest one, he let himself into the house without my knowledge and I wasn't here. Found out from my daughter he used a garage opener I didn't know he had. That's terrible. Okay. Change the garage door code or get a new, I know there's a way to change the code or something. I know garage doors have ways that you can change the way they work so that people with old garage door openers can't use them. I would start there, or I would take it from him if you can't do that. And if you can't do that, I would have someone come out and fix the garage so he can't get in personally. You can also lock the garage. I know it's a pain, but you can do that from usually the little pad there by the, on the inside. Excuse me one second. All right. What happened when he came into the house? Hello, Scott. How are you? Welcome. Deb Longo says thanks to Leslie, and Blue Moon is here. Hello, Blue Moon. Says hi, everyone. Hello and welcome. Frankie Rose is back. Hello, Frankie Rose. How are you? You are new, or you've been here? I thought you've been here. Let me know. Bella Vamhurst says, happy Tuesday, all. Hello, Belle. How are you? She says, hope everyone had a lovely Easter spring weekend. Angie, question. Is bullet journaling more calendar date book goals or creative writing? And she says, watched your video, want to start advice. For me, I do it mostly ideas, calendar, date book, because I have, and goals. I have a lot of different things that I work on in my bullet journal. For example, I don't know if I have anything. I don't think I have anything on there today. It's crazy. But, I have my today date. And as you can see, like I have all these little pages that have the washi tape on the sides, and those are for like my ideas and goals pages. And the thing that I really like about it is that it really, it really helps me to stay focused and not forget all of my ideas, because I get a lot of crazy ideas. So, and it used to be that I had piles and piles of yellow legal pads all over the house where I was keeping all my crazy ideas, which when I say crazy ideas, I have some really good ideas sometimes, but the thing is that I would lose a lot of them. I love the bullet journal. The thing about it that works the best is that it's so incredibly, it's so customizable. So if you wanted to focus on your now what I do, the creative writing stuff I do in there is usually like, I'll bullet point out an article I'm going to write, or I'll bullet point out, something I'm working on. It's a really good place to dream. It's a good place to plan business goals, personal goals, all that stuff. And it's just all in one place. And then the index factor to me makes it the best. I did find that I don't do the monthly month at a glance thing or week at a glance thing. I did originally make the year at a glance part, but I will not do that in my next one because I'm not using it. So I kind of combine this, like I have my Google Calendar, which I live by, and then I have this thing, which I sort of go by day by day. So I always, in the morning, I look at my Google Calendar, I write down my appointments. I guess it's just a thing I do. I don't know. But then I also write down all the other things I want to do during the day. So, and then I, of course, move them to the next day if necessary or whatever. So let me know if you have questions. Cheryl Drum is here. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome. I haven't seen you before. Happy to have you today. Oh, wait, where was I? Maria. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm getting there. I just lost my place. I hate when that happens. Okay, so let me know your thoughts. Hello, Cheryl Drum. Kimberly K, welcome back. Good morning. Shannon had to reboot. Oh, hello. Welcome back from vacation. Thank you. Shannon, I'm glad to see you. I know you're not feeling well, but thank you for coming anyway. I appreciate you. Yolanda Moore says, good morning from Miami, Florida. Good morning. I'm so jealous. I'm over here in Rainy, cold Mo, but it's cool though. Happy to have you. David H says to Kit Kat, does he have any legal right to the home? Are you divorced? I think they are divorced, and I do not think that he has the legal right to go into the home without her permission. By the way, David H is a police officer, for those of you who may have questions related to that. Sky Cox says hello. Gwen Scott says good morning. Good morning, Gwen and Sky. How are you all? Welcome. Montana Sammy Joe is back. Hey, girl. Hey, she says good morning, Spain Ali. Good morning, Montana Sammy Joe. Hope you're well. Rachel Prinsloo is here. She says, hi, guys. I had to go off Facebook. Well, I hope you're okay. Tell us what happened. Shannon O'Brien says, today's grocery day. Yesterday, too much snow. Oh, I hear you. Yes, indeed, I do. Arlene Robertson is back. Welcome back, Miss Arlene. She says, hi, Angie. Happy day, all. Hey, girl. Hey, welcome back. And Cheryl Drum is new here. That's what I thought. Welcome, welcome. Camellia Huline is here. Hello, Camellia. I have not seen you before. Welcome. Kit Kat says, the kids started going to, I think she means she and the kids started going to, the kids started going to a divorce group for kids with a counselor. Suddenly, Father of the Year, gifts, Easter baskets, Easter egg hunts out to dinner. I think he's confusing the kids. Well, that's probably true. He's kind of love bombing them a little bit, and he probably wants to make sure that, they say all nice things. And on the flip side of that, he has a new supply to impress, you see. So that is probably partially related to the new supply, and it might even be the new supply. I don't know if she has kids or not, but I know that a lot of times ladies without children who are decent people might try to ingratiate themselves with the children by giving them gifts and Easter baskets. So it's possible that the new supply did that stuff and then he's just taking credit. Let me know your thoughts. Leah Nova Scotia says, rain, rain, go away. I know, right? Gwen says, hey, guys. Deb Longo says, me. What about you, honey? Tell me. Hero's Journey says, hi, Angie. I'm moving on after breaking off a 6-month relationship with an alcoholic with narcissist tendencies. Question. Is weird, choppy, indirect wording of things rather than their normal communication mean anything? Does it mean anything? Oh, does it mean lying? Oh, that's a good question. I think it probably does in many cases. I think that's a pretty good red flag that there's something suspicious going on. Yes. Yes. My personal thoughts. Okay, let's see here. The baddest radish says, I can relate. Yep, indeed. Yep, so can Frankie Rose. Blessed to be alive in the house. Hello and welcome. Renee Goodell says, I believe you just posted a video just recently on obsessive thinking. That's right, I did. Thank you. She said it was actually very good. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. Wally says, I feel sad, anger, and I found I can freeze and dissociate under stress. I felt I am at risk of losing my jobs. I totally understand how that feels. I have felt very similarly. Wally, maybe what you want to do, if you're no longer being directly abused, maybe you want to work on letting go of some of the sadness and anger and starting to kind of move back into life again. Give yourself an end date for that stuff. I know that you've been struggling for a long time with this, and I know you've also struggled with the job situation. Let me know your thoughts. Deb Longo says, obsessive, yes. That's when I knew something was wrong. And I heard you say trauma bonding. Yep, that's a real thing. And we all probably have experienced it for sure. Ron Nelson is here. He says, hi, guys. Good morning, Angie. Let's get it. Yeah. Leslie, hello, Ron. How are you? Leslie Burrell says, obsessive thoughts really drain your energy. They certainly do. She says, I believe only time helps you get through periods of obsessing. And I think that's true, but also not true, because you can intentionally choose to change it. Certainly, in some cases, obsessing is going to be, is going to seem out of your control. But that's when you can try things like pattern interrupts and focusing on what you want and not what you don't want, and remembering what you're grateful for and things like that. Let me know your thoughts. Leslie. Rachel Prinsloo says, I'm so tired. I've been cleaning the entire day. Are they all slobs? Well, some of them are, and then some of them are the opposite. Some of them are neat freak OCD types. So I think that just depends on the individual, really. I think it's kind of a mixed bag there. I mean, I know some narcissists who don't shower, and they don't stay clean. They don't, but then I know some narcissists who are, three showers a day type of people. I think it just depends on the individual and their particular slant toward narcissism, where they are on the spectrum, things like that. Magella Kane says, I feel like your support sister. Right on. Kit Kat Stop the Chaos says, kids asked why we can't get back together. I tried to keep it honest but vague, but when push came to shove, I said, Daddy had pictures of another lady. Mommy does not compete, and that's not right. Well, listen, I get it. You know, cheating is a deal breaker. And here's the thing, when you told them that, it might have seemed a little harsh, right? But the fact of the matter is they need to learn that mommy stands up for herself. Mommy does not tolerate, you know, being cheated on, because then when they grow up, they won't be cheated on. They won't tolerate it. They will stand up for themselves. So that right there was a good lesson. I know it feels a little weird to say that to your children, but unfortunately, after a certain point, we have to be as honest as we can with them within the realm of what they can understand at those ages. So I think you did a good job on that one. Let's see. Caitlin Smith says, Stargaze Lily, he might be the time that he thinks the kid is only his and try to take it from you. Oh, the kind. Oh, be careful. That's why he isn't abusing you as much. Lots of love. Well, that is a possibility as well. I don't know what your situation is as far as that goes. I don't know if he is that type or not, but that is certainly another possibility. So do be careful either way. Baddest Radish likes that I like her name. That's cool. All right. Stargaze Lily says, I love your channel. Thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate and love you for what you do. Thank you so much, my friend. That means a lot to me. It really does. Hugs and love back to you. And I appreciate that you're here with us. Scott says, my narc was abused as a child by her father. And I'm not going to say how because YouTube will be all like, ding, but he says, I've read that situation can be a catalyst for narcissism. Certainly. And what I've seen a lot of times, Scott, is that's where you get a histrionic narcissist. That's where you get the type who sort of uses their body and their wiles, whether they're feminine wiles or masculine wiles, is that a thing? But where they use their sexuality to obtain attention and to get what they want from people. So is that what you're dealing with, or is it something different? Is it a different type of narcissism? Let me know your thoughts. And part of that has to do with not having been properly counseled after the fact. And when it is a father, a lot of times they don't get the kind of closure they need. And if it was never brought to trial or to court or never brought to the public eye, then, you know, then she may have just grown up thinking that's the only way that she can get what she wants. Maybe he made deals with, I mean, lots of different things. Doreen B says to Stargaze Lily, take it from someone with 30 plus years of experience after the baby, it does not change. And in my world, my experience, she says, it gets much worse with age. She said, one word, sorry if it's blunt, run. And I agree. My oldest child is from my narcissist. He's 20 now. He will be 21. Oh my God. He will be 21 in July. And when he was 16 months old, I ran. So it's hard, but it's worth it. I wouldn't change it at all. The only thing I would change maybe is, you know, I would have probably been a little bit, I would have gone sooner. You know, I wouldn't have married him. Cheryl Drum says, I found your videos yesterday. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm happy to have you. I hope that you're finding some peace here. Raven C says, hi all. Hey, Raven, how are you? Welcome back. And Madeline Gutierrez in the house. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? She says, good morning, Angie and Rumi's. Recovery is all about taking care of you and on purpose, not giving the narc space in your head. Absolutely the truth. Yes, it is a process for sure. Blessed to be alive. Oh, good information. Says you can change the lock within the handle on, I guess, on the garage. Thank you for that information. By the way, guys, just before I forget, I mentioned this in when I sent out the text message this morning, but for those of you who don't know, Dana from Thrive After Abuse and I do a joint stream each week, and I believe this week we're going to be over on her channel. So that happens at 12:30 Central Time, which is in just over 2 hours from right now. So keep that in mind for if you're around at 12:30 Central Time. Let's see here. Deb Longo says, hey, my narc of 6 years doesn't dream. Interesting. Part of that could be, you know, that he's not actually sleeping, like if he has sleep apnea or something. And part of it is some people just don't remember their dreams. There's lots of different possibilities. Do you know, does he snore? Is he overweight? Does he have sleep apnea? Are those things factors in this game or no? Maria Calloway says, hello, sad news. My narc and his female friend were robbed and murdered. Oh my God. on Saturday. I am sad. She had 5 children. He was still my husband, so I'm sad. Oh, honey, I am so incredibly sorry that that happened. I cannot imagine what you must be feeling, the conflict and the just pain. I'm just so sorry. I'm so, so sorry. I hope that you're okay, Maria. Big hugs and love to you. Everybody, please send positive love and strength to Maria as she goes through this mourning time. I cannot imagine what you must be feeling. Adrian says, good morning, Angie and everyone. Hey, Adrian, welcome back. And Blanco says, of. Oh, I think that was I got you. Okay. Shannon O'Brien says, garage door code, one in the remote, one in the receiver, can change both to be the same. There you go. There you go. Cheryl Drum says, mother and I are dealing with a narcissistic sister and her adult children. It's really doing a number on my physical, mental, and emotional health. Oh, sweetheart, I totally understand. Have you thought of going no contact or low contact with your sister? Is that a possibility? Let me know your thoughts. How long has it been going on? Has she been directly abusing you or just like doing a lot of passive aggressive stuff? What's happening? Fill me in. Stargaze Lily says, Doreen and Caitlin, thank you for your feedback. Kit Kat says, I've had the code changed. Good. Locks changed everything. Good for you. Good for you. She said, I told him to return the opener or I'm calling the police. He looked through all of my life plans, which I had on the counter. Oh, that is not okay. I am so sorry that he did that. See, that is an incredible invasion of privacy, and it must feel, a little bit worse than that. I'm so, so sorry that you're going through this. This is terrible. But I'm really proud of you for changing everything because, this is another example of how narcissists, they think they have the right to control people. They think they have the right to poke into people's, personal private plans. I mean, that would be, in my opinion, something like that, looking through your life plans or whatever, would be like an invasion of privacy from someone you were even married to, if that was in your personal journal or whatever. I mean, but someone like this is really I'm so sorry. I understand why you're angry. You have a right to be, and I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself again with this person. He absolutely crossed the line there. Frankie Rose says, I've been here. It's been a little while. That's what I thought. I thought I remembered your name before. Okay. Marianne O'Donnell is sad for Maria. Odin Performance says, I hope everyone had a calm Easter. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My holidays are so much calmer these days than they used to be. No more running all over the countryside to make everybody happy. We do it at our home. We hang out with our kids and we open our doors to anyone who doesn't have anywhere to go. It works out great. Yeah. Friends and stuff like that. Odin Performance. Yes. Christian R is here. Hello, Christian. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. And NL, hey, haven't seen you in a little while. How are you? NL says, good morning, beautiful people. Regarding obsessive thinking, pattern interruption worked like a charm for me. That's what pattern interrupt is all about it. It's really the best thing to do. She said, since the first time I became aware, also remember when I started listening to, I guess she means me, but I'm not sure. Odin Performance says, got no sound here. Someone else? Oh, that's terrible. Can someone please ask Odin Performance to refresh their screen and they may be able to hear then. Leah Nova Scotia says, 1 year, no contact, everyone. Changed me a lot. I've lost so much and I'm still here, still here. Hands up for Leah, everybody. Congratulations. That's awesome. And I know you've lost so much, and we all have. But here's the thing you have to remember. In what you've lost, you've created space in your life for what you want. When you lose something to a narcissist, whether it's a thing or a part of yourself, you create space in your life to open yourself to something better, something new, something different. So keep that in mind as you move forward. It will get better just a little bit every day. Okay, David H has sound. Okay, good news. Kit Kat says, it's so annoying when I thought I had everything covered, and then there's always something I didn't expect. I wasn't changing locks for strangers. I changed them for him. Sad, but true. Yeah. I know it's annoying. I know it is, but use that fire in you to push forward and do something better. Use it to make your life better. Think of him as insignificant and small and focus on yourself and your daughters and making your life better. Just a thought. Bacon Bark, but I cannot talk. Bacon Bark Pet Sitting is back. How are you? Says, hi everyone. My ex-narc tried using Easter as an excuse to reach out to me. I totally ignored him. Still going no contact over 4 months now. Congratulations. That's awesome. Proud of you. Keep going. You're awesome. Everybody hands up for Big and Bark. You Are Smiley is here. Hello, how are you? Says, hey, hun, grounding yourself is so helpful with obsessive thoughts, not just for flashbacks. Absolutely true. Yes. And I just did a video on that. So be sure to check that out. Stargaze Lily says, Odin, are you using a mobile device? Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you have to, if it's on silent, sometimes you have to press the volume button once the video starts. Good information. Thank you. Thank you. Where was I? Goodness gracious. I'm trying to find it. I lost my place. Sorry, guys. Where was I? Goodness. Okay. Okay, here we go. I found it. Okay, You Are Smiley good. Okay, Stargaze Lily says, oh yeah, I already did that one. Okay. Thank you, Shannon. Frankie Rose says, I'm healing nicely. 2 years no contact. Congratulations. She says, but at times I feel myself feeling overwhelmed with wanting to know he has failed. Ugh, need to let it go. I know. Some thoughts, please. You're human. You're allowed to have those thoughts, but they aren't going to help you move forward. So remember this, the very best revenge against any narcissist is to live your best life without even considering them. Like, live your life, do what you want to do, meet your goals, create your dreams, do all those things without them. And don't even give them a look or a thought. That's the best revenge, because what do narcissists want? They want control. They want attention. Take all that away, they got nothing. Stay forward. Keep eyes forward. Keep your eye on the prize, Frankie Rose. You can do this. All right. Jennifer Smith says, a particular narcissist who sits in a dark room daily, staring at you with pride and disgust from across the room, often passes the room where you are at and whispers under their breath, loud enough for you to hear only. Oh, that's very difficult. Yeah. I would ignore that person. I'm guessing that might be a parental narcissist, maybe. What kind of things are they whispering? What's happening? Did I miss something? Wally says, I may want to join stand-up comedy. I have a few lines, but no energy after work or a day off. I understand. Maybe you should consider making time for yourself to write jokes, or making time for yourself to practice. Like, maybe go to bed a little earlier and get up a little earlier in the morning, or whenever, when is your best time usually? Maybe if you could make time to do your, practice before work, that would be a way to go. Maybe you should start a YouTube channel. Why not? Good comedians on YouTube can really go far if they try. NL says, watching Angie's videos, my mantra to get out of that thinking pattern and or when panic attacks was to I love that, was to repeat, what would Angie do? I love it. That's great. Thank you. Stephanie Anna says, hey Angie, I went to court yesterday and the judge awarded my restraining order. Yes, congratulations. And added my 7-year-old to it. That's great news. She says, why do I feel bad that she can't talk to him? I feel like I lost, but I wanted it. Listen, none of us wants to have to put a restraining order on the father of our child. None of us wants that, but it's not something that is your fault. You didn't choose to have a child with a person who is horrible, who would need a restraining order. You thought you were choosing someone who, the false self that they presented to you. So, I guarantee you that if every single one of us could look back, if we had 2020 vision of what we were dealing with, how do I put this in a better way? If we knew ahead of time what we were getting ourselves into and what the outcome would be, would we ever have done it? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I mean, I think about these things and I think to myself, well, if I wasn't, with that person, I wouldn't have that child. And I think about that, but I also, so I try not to regret it. We can't change it. But if I'm being really honest, if I could go back and change the fact that I married him, the fact that I lived with him, all of those things, maybe I would. Maybe I would. I don't know, but you can't beat yourself up. What you're doing is to protect yourself and your child. You're not doing it to be horrible. You're doing it because there's a reason. The judge agrees with you. There's a reason. Don't beat yourself up. I know how you feel and I feel for you, but don't feel bad. Just do your best to keep your child focused on feeling happy, feeling good. Get your child involved in some activities outside of school, a dance class or a piano lessons or something, maybe even something where she can meet, a dance class where she can meet other kids, but piano lessons are great too. There's like band scholarships that go unclaimed every year. But just do something to keep yourself and your child focused on healing and doing better in life rather than the opposite. Deb Longo says, I suffer a lot. Mine is a malignant covert narcissist. Oh, sweetheart, I can only imagine. Um, I know it's difficult, and when they're like that, it's almost the worst because other people around you don't always see it. So I get it. Trust me. Leah Nova Scotia says, Jennifer, my momster with rage issues. Oh, yep. Yeah, I get it. Caitlin Smith says, such a nice day today. Soak up the vitamin D. Love the mood booster helps with depression. Yes, indeed. It is a beautiful day today. Well, no, it's not. I wish it was. It's not horrible. But let's see. Jen, I'm in St. Louis too. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Caitlin Smith says, such a nice day. Oh, I got that one. Okay. Madeline Gutierrez says, Kit Kat, call police station and see if you can file some sort of break-in entry charge. She said at least get it documented somehow. I like that. A New Life for God is here. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? And David H says to Kit Kat, sounds like you've done everything right. Get a police report and file a restraining order to prevent him from coming near your home. Good idea. Kit Kat says, he asked for a guitar that he left in the house and he'll pick it up when he drops off the kids. I don't want him to do that. What can I do? I don't even want to look at this joker. I'm so livid. Well, if it is a guitar that you don't want, then you could just send it with the kids, I guess. But, oh, I see. Well, he'll pick it up when he drops off the kids. Oh, well, you could leave it on the front porch if you want to, maybe. Didn't you put his stuff in a storage locker at one point, or did you not decide to do that? I understand why you're livid. I would tell him, yeah, I guess the best thing you could do is tell him that you'll leave it on the front porch for him and he could pick it up that way. Or that you'll ship it to his house, or that you don't have it anymore because you sold it. What are your thoughts? Or that you'll send it with the kids next time they come, maybe. Leah Nova Scotia says, I know mostly over there narcs, but there are some coverts and cluster Bs around every corner. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, true. You got to watch your back for sure. Wally, I'm sorry to hear that you're struggling with your emotions. I think it's really important that you do your very best to stay focused on what you can control and not what you can't control. And if you're feeling like you might hurt yourself, you need to call the National Suicide Hotline, which is available for you at queenbeing.com, but I know somebody might have it handy here. So if somebody has it, please pop it in the chat for Wally for me. David H says, Kit Kat, you can make arrangements to meet him somewhere. That's a good idea for a child exchange. But if she doesn't want to see him, that's even harder. But that does make sense for all of that. Now, another possibility is that maybe you could pick up the kids and that one kid could run the guitar back into the house, possibly. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Rachel, and why would he not pick up the guitar when he broke into the house in the first place? Anyway, Rachel Prinsloo says, he forced me to delete Facebook and I'm currently watching this in the loo. Feels like my only support has been taken away. Rachel, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Can't you just oh man, you're being that controlled that you're watching this in the bathroom. Are you stuck? Can you get out? Do you not have your own money? Tell me what's going on here. Stargaze Lily says, I don't have much time this morning. I have to run. Ta-ta. Okay, later. See you later. Deb says, yes, this narcissism is crazy hard to deal with, and I'm just learning. I feel you, girl. It is hard, but stick with us. We'll help you get through it. Kit Kat says, David H., thank you. That's what I was hoping I could do. I would at least like it on the record. Very good. Bella Vamhurst says, thank you so much, Angie. My room looks like a sticky note factory. Had a mishap. We're on the same page. She says, I need a solution. I think I will begin bullet journal looking at options. The recommendations for one other journal for creative. Yeah. Okay. I use one because of the fact that I know how I roll. If I am handwriting something, because every now and then when I'm on a writing kick, I'll handwrite something, at least the beginning of it or the outline. And if it's not, if I know it's going to be several pages, maybe I will do it separately. But then there's a little pocket in the back of the notebook or in the back of the book I use that I can slide it in. I really love that. In fact, I just ordered my second one. I was supposed, this is, some people this lasts a year, but as you can see, we're in April and I'm more than halfway through. So I do write a lot, but I just ordered another one. The one I use is the look term. In fact, if you look at the video, I think I included a link to it in the video that you watched below the video. And I also have just ordered my next one. I've actually got it already so that I'm ready to go. It is the best system I've ever found for me. And I have that exact sticky note problem. I still have sticky notes everywhere, but mostly they're just used to cover up my camera now. But sometimes I use them in the book too, like which is also really cool because, for example, let me see if I can find one handy here. For example, oh, I can't show you that one. That one's got passwords on it. Okay, so like this one, right? You see, like there's a sticky note. I took some notes on for improving the channel, and so it's really, it's for me the very, very best thing I've ever found. I wish I had found it years ago. I think it would have changed my life. It's changing it now in very good ways. Yeah. So yeah, I would use a different journal for like writing long creative stuff. I mostly use it to plan projects instead of actually using them to create the actual project. Does that make sense? Yeah. Odin Performance says thank you. Oh, got the sound working again. Oh, awesome. Oh, thank you. All right. Shannon O'Brien says, welcome to Angie's channel for Camellia. And thank you, Shannon. Maddie says, Wally, glad you are in a peaceful place today with us. God bless your day. Yes, indeed. David says, Kit Kat, it does not even have to be a permanent order, but it will definitely send him a message. Yeah, that's really unacceptable. It's such an invasion. I totally agree. Shannon says, hey to Maddie. Hero's Journey says, thanks, Angie. I appreciate the answer. My pleasure. I hope it was helpful for you. Doreen B says a question. I want to go to the police, but he has stolen most of my evidence of poisoning and tampering. Oh my goodness. Narc tells me they'll just think you're crazy, but probably true, unfortunately. Well, do you have any evidence at all? And I would still go and at least report it. If they're not going to do anything, I would be surprised because that's like attempted murder, isn't it? I would go, I would tell him, David is here. David, tell Doreen what you think about this. Leah Nova Scotia says, sticky notes get me through the day, right? I know. I have literally I have them in every color, several shapes and sizes. I freaking love sticky notes, okay? But those yellow legal pads where I used to just all day, oh gosh, now I just really love the bullet journal because then, what I would end up doing is I would have this amazing idea and I'd like flesh it all out and it'd be all outlined and ready to roll, and then boom, something would happen and I would be like, I would lose the notebook or something, and like I'd be in another notebook next time and think, oh, I have this amazing idea. You know how many times I wrote down the same amazing idea and fleshed it out in so many notebooks? It's so much better this way. Yeah. A New Life for God says, Cupcake is spinning. Call the cops on me in a mocking way. After I've called on him, meeting with the sheriff sergeant today, many problems with getting help. He is dragging me back to court. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I would seriously do your very best to have very little or no contact with this person. I would stay close to your police officers in your area and letting them, filling them in on the situation. I would definitely be considering talking with a lawyer. And I would also be asking the lawyer to ask the court to make him pay court costs because that's BS, personally. Anyone have tips for A New Life for God, whether this is David or someone else who's been there, please share those in the comments here. Mora says, hello, everyone. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Odin Performance says, thanks, Shannon and David. And hello to Mora. Let's see. Christian says, obsessive thoughts can be a form of anxiety. Of course, yes. Solar eclipse in the house. Hello, hello, and welcome. Montana Sammy Joe says, if your alcoholic shows no signs of wanting to sober up, then I would just run. Did I miss somebody's thing? I just got a 7-year chip and encourage you to find an Al-Anon group. I agree with that. Yeah, if they're not going to sober up, it's basically just like dealing with any narcissist, only a drunk one. Unfortunately, addiction and alcoholism tends to cause people to have very narcissistic behaviors and very little empathy for the people around them when it comes to, they'll literally choose the drug or the, of choice over their individual people in their lives. And it's horrible, and they might regret it if they were sober, but if they can't even try to get sober, you'll never know. I agree with Montana Sammy Joe. Thank you for sharing that with us. Maura says, just popping in to say hi, love you all. See the mod squad in the house. Y'all are in great hands. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Christian says, congrats, Montana, on that 7-year chip. I agree. Kit Kat says, David H., thank you. Awesome. David is an awesome guy, really great guy. He was part of he's a survivor himself, and he's been part of he was part of my summit that we did last year. He's been a really great support for this group when he's able to be here. We love us some David. Thank you, David, so much. Wally says, is the trouble with communication with parents? It is the trouble with the communication with parents. I can't talk to them. They don't believe in feeling and getting hurt. Always labeled as happened a long time ago that I'd rather shut down. Yeah, well, see, and what you're dealing with is probably some narcissistic people, because that's exactly what narcissists do to us. They minimize our feelings. They tell us they don't matter. You get labeled as holding on to the past, even when it literally happened 5 damn minutes ago. You're not alone, Wally. I know how that feels. It's terrible. And you're not allowed to have emotions. I've been there. I think all of us could, on some level, relate to where you are, my friend. How much longer till you can get out of there? Let us know. Let's see. David H. says, you're welcome to Kit Kat. Leah, Nova Scotia says, I have anxiety and depression. I used to struggle with BPD all the time because the abuse was so horrible. Been there. She says, yeah, these people can snap. Protect yourself. Deb says, he already did. He already did what? Snap? Christian says, I'm working on my anxiety at the moment. It's a process. I've got some videos on that, and I can create more if you guys need me to. A New Life for God says, even though the sheriff recommends to the DA to prosecute, I asked the sheriff for a report. He said the judge would be able to see the reported violations. So you're saying he called the police even though all of these things were the case. So, and he's taking you back to court. Well, so it sounds like you'll win the case. Is that correct? Or are you saying the reported violations from him? Let me know. I'm kind of confused right now about that. Kit Kat says, I appreciate that, Angie. I'm a little scared. I will be doing more damage with the kids, exposing them to the ugly side of this, but I'm getting so sick of these games. Is it okay to teach them? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not saying that you should talk bad about their father, but I'm saying if something is a fact, it is a fact. And the fact, what I was taught by a therapist when I was going through this with my son, my oldest son, was that, number one, when we try to protect them from the truth too much, we end up taking responsibility for something that isn't our fault. And then sometimes they develop resentment against us for something that isn't our fault. And he said, you have to just tell the truth up to the level at which they can understand. And in the case of your kids, you want, and my own child as well, you want to teach them that you don't have to accept abuse. You want to break the cycle for them so that when they're ready to go and get in relationships, they don't get in relationships with people who abuse them. You see what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts. Maura says, I believe you're doing the right thing by being honest with them. Absolutely. Christian says, I finally learned what a narcissist is, and I'm learning to deal with them better. It is a process, my friend. Discover, understand, overcome. Absolutely. Kit Kat says, it's okay to teach them that games are not healthy and daddy plays games. I'm very tolerant and wishy-washy, but I'm starting to take much harder lines. Yes, take harder lines. Be respectful of the verbiage, the way that you say the words. Explain it to them in a way they can understand without directly, never say anything about an opinion, only say a fact. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're talking about him. So, I don't tolerate games such as, when daddy breaks in the house when I'm not here and he's not supposed to be here. Or I don't tolerate games such as daddy cheating on me or however you want to, maybe you don't want to say cheating, but daddy going and being with another woman when he promised to only be with me, things like that. Within reason. I don't want you to go too far. I don't want you to get into anything that is above their heads. You know what I'm saying? But especially when they come directly to you and they go, why is this the thing? Then you have to tell the truth. You don't have to go seek them out to tell them those things. But if they, why won't you guys get back together? Why can't this happen? Why can't we all have Christmas together this year or whatever? Be straight up. You know what I'm saying? So only teach them that stuff when they need to learn that stuff. Like, don't, like when they come home from school, sit them down and say, let's talk about this stuff, because that is definitely not going to be healthy. But they will often ask you questions. They will come to you. They will say, hey, what about this? What about that? That's when you do it. You feel me? I hope that makes sense. Shannon says, Rachel, good for you. Do what you need to. I agree. Leah Nova Scotia says, Deb, I'm so sorry. I'm saying that honestly, because I have been through that, but all I care about is your safety and your well being. Take care of yourself and stay strong. I agree on all counts. David says, Kit Kat, in my experience with divorce from a narcissist, all we can do is present our best self in front of the kids despite the adversity. Yes. But again, when they come to you and they say, this is how I feel. Why aren't you with dad? Why aren't you with mom? That's when you have to tell the truth. Okay. Because like when my therapist told me when I was dealing with my oldest child, who came to me and said, why don't I have a dad when all the other kids at preschool have a dad? That was why I went to the therapist. Cause I'm like, holy crap, what do I do now? What do I even say to him about this? And, because once my ex-husband, once I divorced him, he was gone. He was never in that kid's life again. And that was his choice. But I was left to deal with the consequences. And so my therapist said, you have to sit him down and in his little 3 or 4 year old mind, you have to explain to him that he has the right to see him. He could have seen him, but he's got problems and he chooses not to see him. And I thought that was really harsh and I thought it was really painful. But the therapist said, no, you have to tell him this, because otherwise he's going to think it's your fault and he's going to resent you for it. And it's not going to be healthy for either one of you. You're his only parent. You have to be there and let him know that so tell him those things and then say, but don't worry, because mommy's always going to be here. And that's exactly what I did. And it worked as well as it could work. So it was the very best thing I could have done. It was hard. We both cried. It was terrible. But sometimes we have to do hard shit as parents. It's just the truth. So, but again, be respectful of the fact that he is their father and they are still seeing him, and don't say things that are opinions. Don't insult him. Don't say things that aren't true. You know what I'm saying? And only, just to reiterate, only when they come to you asking questions about it. I hope that's helpful. Kathy Williams, hello. Christian R says, I was blind to the fact about narcissists because I was dealing with my own issues. Well, certainly we've all had our own issues. And quite honestly, Christian, a lot of us find ourselves being like, well, let me improve myself because obviously I must be the problem. Because when we say to a narcissist, hey, you're being kind of mean and horrible to me, they go, well, that's because you're a piece of crap or whatever. And whatever form that takes. And so we really do very often think, well, maybe it is me, and then we start to change ourselves and try to be better people because of the fact that this person points out that somehow it must be our fault that they're abusing us, because it's easier to fix ourselves because we are willing to do that, unlike them. You see what I'm saying? It's normal. Gwen Scott says, question, why do narcs like to copy you? My aunt started the same likes colors. She likes the same car. She's even changed her hair like mine. Woo, girl. She said, why? I'm trying to see the rest of Gwen's comment. I'll tell you what, Gwen, it's it's jealousy. It's obsession. They think you're really that cool and they want to be just like you. It's a little creepy. Remember that movie? I don't know if you're old enough to know this, but there was a movie called Single White Female with, I think, Sharon Stone. No, was it Sharon Stone? I don't remember who. No, I don't know who the actress was, but shh, you hear this cat? He's complaining. Anyway, this actress, anyway, in the movie, I'm sorry, this cat is really distracting me. Hold on one second. Let me yell at him. Anyway, he's still going. Nothing I can do. All right. In the movie, Single White Female, is that the one? Yeah, Single White Female. This woman got a roommate and she moved in with her and she was weird. And first it was great and she was weird. And then she like cut her hair and dyed it the same way and tried to be with her boyfriend or whatever. It was messed up. Basically tried to assume her identity. And that's a little bit on the psychopathic end of the scale. Now, as far as your aunt, I'm guessing that she must um, either be like, think you're that interesting and cool and she wants to be just like you, or maybe there's some other weird motive, like she's trying to, assume your life, or I don't really know. I'd have to know more information. Why do they do it? Because they don't have their own selves in there anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Some of them do it with style and colors and hair and things like that. Some of them do it with speaking patterns, expressions. There are lots of different things they'll do that, yeah, they don't have their own selves, and that's part of their problem in the first place. Usually they are some sort of a compilation of everyone they know or of the cool people in their lives, you know. Um, Deb Longo says, my narc loves, worships his children, but hates women, only abuses women. Is that possible? Sometimes narcissists tend to see their children just like their spouses as well, but as extensions of themselves. And if they really hold on to that idea of a narcissist being an extension of themselves, they will very often act just like that. Is it possible that they're not abusing the children? Highly unlikely. Chances are loving and worshiping your children will actually end up with controlling your children. You know what I'm saying? And if that's not happening, if the children aren't being controlled, then there might be another issue here. But I'm guessing that sometimes you can control a child with approval or lack thereof, or sometimes you can control a child with money, or, as long as your child does what you want, you're perfectly happy, but the moment they don't, you're totally horrible. Lots of different things like that. So it just depends on both the level of narcissist and how they see the children, which is generally when they're children, like extensions of themselves, and sometimes even as adults. I don't know if that makes sense. Does he have any daughters? Leah Nova Scotia says, yes, I know men and women who are narcissists. I had the wool pulled over my eyes and I was in a corner. Yeah, me too. Christian says, yes, Deb, they feel safer with children, I believe. And I learned to deal with that as long as I'm not being abused by my SO, significant other. Some of them are good with children. Some of them are not. Just depends on where they are in the spectrum. And I would still always watch them because, and I'm not trying to freak anybody out here, but someone who's like really, really good with children and not adults might be normal, but also might be someone you need to watch very closely and never leave your children alone with. You feel me? That's all I'm going to say. Hear what I'm saying. All right. Doreen says, I'm so sorry, Maria. Hugs and loves to you. And Shannon sending hearts, thoughts, and prayers. Leah says, I think it's a little higher in men, to be honest. Just slightly. And my guess is that that's because it is statistically like, something like 2 or 3% higher, 5% higher, something like that in men. However, that's because, in my opinion, a lot of the female narcissists are the mothers, and they play it off, oh, that's just mom. That's just mom. So they're not always as out there. They're more covert. They're more of the caregiver type of narcissist. Like, I do everything for you. How dare you not do what I want? Or they control in different ways. They nurture, but they also use their services, their acts of service as control, ways to control. I've done your laundry since you were born. How dare you not, take me to the grocery store when I need to go, or whatever kind of manipulation they're going to do. I hope that's a little bit helpful. But it's certainly, the other thing is men aren't always as willing to come forward and say that this is happening to them because they don't, it's not something that our society is very good about embracing, is the fact that women could abuse men, and they do. And that's why 27% of my audience is male, and I definitely know for sure that both sexes are guilty and almost equally guilty. Yeah. Maddie says, Maria, I will keep you and all those 5 babies covered in prayer this week. I'm so sorry. Me too. Gwen Scott says, I saw a video of yours about narcs. Copy you. I can't find it. Anyway, it's creepy that she's single white females. See what I'm saying? It is creepy. Yes. I would do something, if you were in a position to do it, I would do something crazy and see if she imitates it, like dye your hair bright pink or something. I know you can't do that in most professional situations, but you could even, that's mean. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, there are lots of different things you could do. Yeah. Leah says, whoa, trigger. Tell me. Tell me. Um, Montana Sammy Joe says, I would press charges for breaking and entering at the very least. Yes. Hey, James, welcome back. Says, hey, everybody, how's it going? And Leah Nova Scotia says, I went to church and everyone was crying and now I'm just sad. Oh, honey, I can only imagine. Christian says, hey, Angie. Hey, hey, hey. Leah Nova Scotia says, how are you, James? And Kathy Williams says, I ended a 42-year marriage to my, oh, honey, marriage to my narcissist. Left, went no contact, move out of state. My 40-year-old daughter does not believe the verbal abuse, and she went no contact with me and won't let me see my 2 grandsons. She really doesn't believe it. She didn't grow up in that house. I mean, that's really bizarre. My guess is the narcissist is smear campaigning you. I would give her space for a little while, and I'm sorry that she's doing that to you with the grandchildren. I would suggest that you make an effort, around her birthday, around Christmas, holidays, whatever. Send her a card. Say, I just want you to know I love you and I'm here if you ever want to talk. It sucks that she's not letting you see the grandchildren. I wish I had better information for you, but maybe if you could write her a letter and try to explain, don't you remember when you were a child and dad did XYZ? That was verbal abuse. You know what I mean? Maybe she just doesn't fully understand it. I'm shocked that she wouldn't support you at all. Did you guys have a positive relationship before this happened? Let me know. And sometimes girls tend to be daddy's girls or whatever. But again, my guess is the narcissist is doing a smear campaign on you, and that's why she's feeling that way, because he's lying about you. James says, my ex texted me yesterday about coming to get her stuff on our would-be 2-year wedding anniversary. Coincidence or not? Nah, definitely not. Watch your back. That's a Hoover, my friend. Be careful. There's no coincidence in that case at all. In my opinion, that was probably very intentional. Montana Sammy Joe says, I moved to Montana in 99 and did a formal name change in 2000. I didn't know how to change my SSN. My stalker still shows up, but I'm not afraid because he's not very attractive now, she said. Love it. Rachel says, love to you, Maria. Adrian says, my heart goes out to you. I will pray for God to give you strength and comfort during this time, Maria. And Belle says, Maria, you have my deepest compassion. I can't begin to comprehend how you feel, but I'm so sorry this happened. You're not alone. We're all here and connected in spirit. You're in my thoughts. Sending love. Hero's Journey says, great job, Leah. Been there twice. It gets better when you learn and grow. Hugs. Absolutely. Maria Odin Performance has lots of love and peace for you. Deb Longo says, mine does background checks, looks through my phone, called the cops in the beginning. He stopped doing those things and he stopped triangulation. Do they get better? They change sometimes. They don't change in the ways that we would like them to. Maybe he trusts you now, but that doesn't mean that is he abusing you still? Is he not? I mean, I'm assuming he's still abusing you if you're here, or I don't know. I don't, maybe he stopped doing those things because he knew that you would, not mess around because you knew that he could pop in at any time. Maybe he stopped doing them because, I mean, is he an alcoholic? Has he stopped drinking? They generally don't get better in real life, not for long. Sometimes they get better for a while and then they revert back. I think it just depends on the situation, but there are other possible ways that he might be causing you to be abused in your life, whether it's directly or indirectly. But if things are all fine at home, then obviously everything's great. But if you're still being abused, my guess is, okay, so he stopped doing those things and he stopped triangulation. Well, what else is he doing? Sometimes when you don't give them the fuel they need to attack or whatever, then this would give them a reason to stop doing that and try something different. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, Kimberly Ellison is here, says, hi, Angie. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? And Leah Nova Scotia says they always try to come back around a full moon, James, because they have monster problems. True. Christian says, I learned not to trigger my narcissist. Yeah, that's something we all probably learned over the course of the years, right? Okay. Guys, I out of time, but listen, I'll be back in just over an hour with Dana from Thrive After Abuse on her channel, so make sure you check that out. That will be at 12:30 Central Time, which is in 1 hour and 10 minutes from now. I will see you then if you can make it. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for another live session and later today for another video. Have a lovely Tuesday. Hugs and love to each and every one of you. Maria, again, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Hugs and love. Much light your way. Everybody else, stay strong. Maria, stay strong. Everybody, keep your chin up. Stay focused. Eyes on the prize. Let's do this. As always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. Thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me, and I will see you soon.